cooperate with investigating this.
Oh,
Dang it.
good night, all.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
Trust you.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
I can hear you. Don't know if the other people are here.
Hi, can everybody hear?
I can hear.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. Evening.
Good evening. We can hear you, Nora.
Okay, good. I couldn't hear anybody else. So I
Okay.
had to just log in and out. So thanks, appreciate it. I guess we can go ahead and get started then. All right, let's start with, does anybody have any updates? Are you speaking, Marva?
I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. Okay, if nobody has any education related updates, I guess we can move into our main topic for this evening, which is really our two events that we want to do coming up, or the one that we are doing, which is the Black History Month art contest. That is essentially live. We've got the email address that people can email it to, and we just have to start getting the word out. So I'm going to ask the board to send it to our listserv for anybody who would like to participate, and also include a call for judges for anyone who'd like to join us as judging. Anybody have any thoughts, questions? Anything they'd like to do? Yes, Mr. Robinson.
Is it just for kids in the district, or is it? I run a nonprofit and we do different outreach to different places around the city. We mainly focused on Governor's Island for programming, but
Okay, great.
we live on Pacific and Grand, so that's where our business is run. But I didn't
Okay,
know
great.
if you guys. I don't know where the parameters are for what you're looking for, because I might be able to come up with a whole bunch of kids, possibly.
We definitely are targeting Community Board 8, for sure.
Right, but do you want to like print a flyer and hang it in your business? Do you have kids that frequent Pacific and Grand?
No, it's not. No, it's just, it's a nonprofit that's run out of here. Like, I'm sitting in my house right here now. It's for, we do programming on Governor's Island, and like an education program, an arts outreach education program is part of it. And we work with like Lower East Side Girls Club and Chinatown YMCA and people like that. And I didn't know if it was that far of a net or smaller, but I can reach out to a smaller net as well. Definitely.
That'd be great. If you know kids, or you have a group of kids in the area, definitely please share the flyer with them. If you want to put your email address in the chat, we'll make sure you get it. Thank you. So that's the plan there. We're sending it to the board to go to the listserv, and then we'd also wanted to send it to the CECs and the schools in the area. I have a couple of lists on that. Is there any particular group that anyone is interested in sharing it with, so that we can just keep a track of how we're disseminating it? Okay. Okay. In addition to that, so we'll just start getting the word out there. I think I'd also like to create a Facebook page for it. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
You fancy.
It's just, I just want to make sure we're getting enough eyes on it, and the event page might, if it'll let me do it, might be a good way to do that. because it can just be kind of hard to get the word out on some of the events.
Oh, an event page on the community board page. I thought you were talking about creating a whole new Facebook just for this, and I was like, wow, okay.
No,
Yeah,
no, no. It
I
would just be like,
understand now. Yes.
okay, no, just an event page. Okay. Moving on. I think last time we discussed the issue with the principal at PS 243.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Nora, in reference to the contest, I just want to make sure, do we have a criteria that we're looking at, or this is it
the
open
kids
for
can do-
anything, or what are we looking at again on this?
It's open for anything you can take a picture of and send to the email address.
Okay,
Kids, we're looking at preschool through 12th grade, and as we get they'll be divided into categories, like by age.
okay. And did we confirm the awards that'll be given out? Did we confirm those portions?
We're still working on the prizes. We've got some book sets from the Brooklyn Book Library, the Brooklyn Book Bodega.
Bodega.
Yeah, not the Brooklyn Book Library, the Brooklyn Book Bodega. And thank you, Marva. And we've got a membership from the Brooklyn Children's Museum. And so we're still working on getting some more prizes together. But we'll have them by the time kids actually, it ends on the 28th. And so we're judging at our next community board meeting, which I believe is also on March 1st. It is March 1st. And the prizes will be awarded at the community board meeting, like at the actual community board meeting, which is on the 10th. Did you have a prize to suggest?
Oh, no, I was good with whatever, whatever the group says, I'm easy.
I was
Okay.
also just thinking that we kind of should wait and see what submissions we get, because if it's like a whole bunch of 7-year-olds, we don't want anything that's too sophisticated for them or something like that. So I think we really need to tailor the awards to what submissions we get as well.
Agreed. I do think we probably want to have in mind what we would give to the group, to the different age groups, but you're right, we don't have to solidify. If we get, 25 7-year-olds and 2 17-year-olds, it doesn't make sense to have things lined up for that group, for the wrong groups. Agreed. So now that we're squared away on that, I wanted to bring back up our conversation about the event that we wanted to do, the film event, for sometime later this spring, early summer. I don't know if folks are ready to start talking about that yet, but I just wanted to bring it up just in case we wanted to, anybody has any more thoughts on that right now.
I wasn't at the last meeting, so could you fill me in about the film event?
So we've essentially settled on, so previously when we were doing our, when we were discussing the kind of future career event we wanted to have in non-traditional careers, we were talking about, we had a list of things we were interested in, like technology, different types of computer type things. I forget the list, but we had a list. And film was on that list. We obviously did music last year. And so we had settled on film as our next topic. But we had decided to do spring for the next event, but we had not necessarily decided the parameters around it, like age group we're trying to target. If we want to do, there are a lot of things in flux just because of the COVID surge. And so we were talking about whether or not we wanted to do it virtual or in person. We'd have to find a venue, that kind of thing. And we should start doing some planning around that again if we do still want to do something for late spring, early summer. But just wanted to throw it out there in case anybody has any thoughts right now or anything has occurred to anyone since we last spoke. Okay. I think those two things were all I had on the agenda for tonight, including an update about PS 243, which I shared at the community board meeting. The principal that was called that the CEC 16 was concerned about has been removed from that position. And so that's the update there. We discussed it at the last meeting.
So far, have you heard that the acting principal, they're okay with?
Yes, they did share the acting principal. I don't have her name right in front of me right now, but I will share it after the meeting. I'll pull it up. If anybody has it, feel free to share.
Is she from within the school, or she was
She is
brought in
from
from
within the-
outside?
Yeah, it's my understanding she's from she's from within the area. I don't know if she's actually from within the school. Let me look.
She's not from within the school. And
Okay.
she has, I'm sorry, guys, sorry I'm late. She is basically the person that comes in when there's difficulty with the school. Anecdotally, not, it's not the expectation that she will be the principal for the school. And the other thing is that David Banks has asked all of the superintendents to reapply for their jobs. So we don't know how that's going to quite stack up. And given that that was such a monumental problem, a principal was such a monumental problem, I don't know how that's going to impact Dr. Martin's application as superintendent. She's done a great job, but her deputy just took a job. The deputy superintendent who was in charge of instruction just took a job in Valley Stream as a superintendent or deputy superintendent.
Thank you for providing additional information. That's really helpful.
Sorry, I go to way too many meetings.
Yes, so I just looked up the principal's name. Her name is Judith James, the acting principal. So I do not know. I mean, she comes from, I think, DOE, within the DOE, but I don't think she's another principal from somewhere else. But she has a lot of experience there.
And she's been a principal before, and I guess at this juncture, having someone that can, bring leadership to the school building while they look for, because there's a whole process in hiring a principal, while they find a good match for the school is a good thing, because you'd rather have an old hand at the wheel.
Yes, very true. It was good they got somebody with experience. I was just asking if anybody else I was asking previously if anyone has any education updates. You weren't on then, Sharon, so if you'd like to share any, please.
Just a couple of things. The ECC, which Marva had shared the link for people to join to become supporters if they want to become supporters, had a meeting last Saturday. And the two things that they discussed were charter schools and governance. So you guys may know that Governor Hochul, as part of the budget, seemingly has extended mayoral control for 4 years, right? And is intent upon raising the charter limits, the charter cap, right? So the question now becomes is why is that being done as part of the budget and not part of a standalone? And another conversation was about foundation aid, because schools are now being fully funded, whereas they had not been fully funded. But because of a quirk in the system, it seems that charter schools are going to at this juncture, because I'm sure there's going to be more negotiation, that charter schools will receive the lion's share of the monies, which many find problematic.
Okay.
So there'll be more discussion about that, and governance, in terms of governance, because they're focusing on, the ECC are focusing on having parent voice represented on the PEP. The CECs have elected one member to the PEP, so they can have an independent voice, because the majority of the people that sit on PEP are appointees from the 5 borough presidents and the mayor, right? And they feel that it's important to have more independence to be able to move the school system forward.
Okay, that makes sense.
And while we're talking about the CECs, I noticed that the community board did just send out a notice earlier. Well, now it's last month on January 5th that CEC 17 has vacancies. So if anyone's interested in getting more involved, they are accepting applications to be involved in CEC 17. I also know that 16 has reached out to us to get us up to speed as to what's going on within their group and in their district. So I feel like we're doing well getting ourselves out there, and they're at least reaching out to the community board, and Nora has been attending. So great job, Nora, for being representation of community board at those meetings, so that we can offer any help or services where needed.
Let's say one more thing. There's a tight deadline for the capital plan and what people need. But one of the roles that we can really help with is working with schools to be able to identify if they need monies for their physical plan, if they're eligible for Reso A. And this is a future cycle, and what they need for capital planning. The same group, ECC, did a great session Tuesday night on just following the capital plan, because you actually need a refresher course, and you need people that have expertise and experience to explain different things, like what is the blue book and how do they make decisions, and all that good stuff. What are the priorities within the DOE? So recently there were 2 priorities: 1, to provide air conditioning in school buildings, and 2, to make sure that buildings could get wired for technology. 1, 2, and 3, increasing handicap accessibility to buildings. So those projects receive priority over other projects, unless it was something like they need to replace the roof or the boiler and good stuff like that.
You said air conditioning, wired for technology, and then what else?
Increasing handicap accessibility.
And these in that order is 1, 2, 3?
Sort of how it was implemented, and 1, 2, 3 depends on the district. So if you have a school that's servicing a special needs population, they tend to receive priority, or they're doing an upgrade, like 335 recently had the upgrades for increased accessibility. And those, priorities are, because 1, 2, 3 is system-wide, but the priorities may change for districts. So 13, 16, and 17 may have a different ranking of those priorities. 17 has the oldest school, has among the oldest schools in the city. Washington Heights schools are similarly old.
Okay. Does anybody else have any updates or announcements? Or do you have anything else, Sharon?
No, nope.
Okay. Does anybody else have any updates or announcements they'd like to share?
Yes, this is Mark Thurton. I think we have our 77th precinct youth officer on the call.
Oh, great.
Artez, are you there?
I don't, oh, yeah. I can't hear you. Can anybody else hear Detective Marte?
No.
Okay. He's in the chat. He says, yes, he's here. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
All right, do you have any events that you want to share with the youth committee? Doesn't look like his his speaker's working.
No, it doesn't sound like his yeah, his audio doesn't appear to work. Well, if w- maybe he could share them with you and you could share them with the group. Mark?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you'll be able to attend again. It's really great to have you here, even though we can't hear you. Um, hopefully
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
have,
Because they have quite a bit of things going on, and it'd be beneficial for us to, to get the information that they have and for us to work together.
for
So,
sure, definitely.
yep.
Thank you so much for coming. And we would love to hear all of the information that you have and the events that are going on. It's definitely important for us to be working together. All righty, I don't have anything else for tonight. If there's nothing else, if nobody has anything else, we can adjourn. I will see everybody next month when we are judging the art contest. And when we send the flyer out, if everybody could just share it with their networks, that would be really helpful too.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Are we
Yes, Mark,
gonna see the flyer before it's sent out, or it's already set up?
we shared the flyer
It's
already.
exactly the same as was sent out last time because the only thing I wanted to see if I could get a different logo from the community board, and that's the only logo that they have. So it's exactly the same.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Night.